everybody, it's Suzanne Black from the Blair County Conservation District, and I am outside today because that's where I like to bring my rabbits a lot and change their cages when the weather is nice. And we're going to talk a little bit about rabbits and rabbit care. Now, when you have a rabbit, there are some things that you must have. Alright, so first is a pen, and you have to decide what type of pen that you want to get. Now, my rabbit Clover is an English Angora, and so she actually unfortunately needs a wire pen, and I have it out right now because she's not in here a lot. She has like a grass mat that actually keeps her, because wire pens can cause some sores on your rabbits. So she needs a wire pen though because of her fur, and you'll see her in a minute. Her fur is so long that it easily gets matted, and that bedding down there will actually get caught up in her fur and mat her. Alright, so you see you have a pen, you need a water bottle, and I use a large one. My rabbits drink a lot of water, so I fill this up almost every day. In here you'll see I have this kind of like a little tiny hay bale looking thing, and that's like a Timothy hay cube. Rabbits need a lot of hay. And over here is her feed dish, and there are rabbit pellets in there. Now, another type of cage, and what I actually do with this, when I said she's not in there a whole lot, it's because I actually clip the door up like this, and that pen that she's in outside right now, I call that her playpen. And it's actually, I attach it to this, leave the door up, and then she can go in and out when her pen and everything's set up inside our finished basement. She can go in and out of her pen freely, and since her food and water is in here, she's been, I would say, like potty trained in a sense, basically litter box trained, so that she only goes to the bathroom in here. So occasionally she'll have a little poop outside of it, but she's never peed outside of her litter box in here. Alright, so over here is a different type of pen. And this one, this one is for Miss Lucy right there. And you can see Lucy doesn't have the really long fur like Clover does. Sorry, that's Willow. Willow, stop. Alright, so this is a different type of pen. This is the one I prefer to have for rabbits. Now, mine do not, I have the top on it right now. When I have my rabbits inside, I don't have the top on this. I hook her water bottle up to her playpen, and this is just like a gigantic litter box. And then I have a little box, and I put the box that has an opening at each end, and I actually put it in there. That way she has a little bit of shelter, because rabbits like to have somewhere to go. And I didn't bring it out here. I even have one of those tunnels that you can buy for a cat that I'll put in their playpen for them. And they'll run through that because they are a prey animal. And so they like to have some shelter. Right now I don't have their boxes out here with them because I just put them out here to show you guys how to take care of them. But this is another type of pen, and it's better. The litter is, they're actually able to lay on the litter, and it's better for their feet. And then she has that. Over here, I have pine shavings. So if you get pine shavings at Walmart or somewhere else, or Target, they can be pretty expensive. This entire bag, it's pretty big. It was a little less than $5 at Tractor Supply. I also get my food there. This is Producer's Pride rabbit feed. It's actually typically at my Tractor Supply, I find it by the chicken feed. That's how I found it, because rabbit food can get expensive, and these guys eat a lot. Clover will go through that entire dish of food in one day. Oh, Clover, you're such a pretty girl. And then the most important thing also then is Timothy hay. So you don't want to feed your rabbits alfalfa. It can make them a little chunky. And they need Timothy hay to digest properly. So rabbits are vegetarians, and they need a lot of fiber because they can actually get their hair when they're grooming themselves stuck in their digestive system, and it can hurt them. All right, so in Timothy hay. So what I do with the Timothy hay, now Miss Clover can't have this for the same reason she can't be in her bedding. It will get completely matted, really thick in her fur. So I do use it for, I'm going to sit this down here, for Miss Lucy. And I actually just put it directly into her pen, like that. And to properly litter train your rabbits is you're going to want to put their Timothy hay and their food in the area that you want them to go to the bathroom, but you need to have it large enough so that they can pick a spot where they go to the bathroom. Rabbits like to go to the bathroom in the same place, which is really nice. All right, and you notice over here I have some brushes and other supplies. So right here I have this brush. This is for Clover. It's to get through any gnats or anything in her, any tangles. Just like girls can get tangled hair, Miss Clover can too. Right now she actually has her spring haircut. Her hair can get usually about 6 to 10 inches long. So her hair gets really, really long, and I can actually collect it. And you can make Angora sweaters and hats and gloves out of it. It is unbelievably soft. All right, so then this is another brush that I can use to get out loose hair. So Angora rabbits, they shed a lot. And so you use this to collect the loose hair. And believe it or not, even though little Miss Lucy here has really short hair, she's actually a mini Rex. She needs brush too because she can shed, and you can actually see some hair that's loose down here. All right, so she will shed, and you don't want your bunny to be eating that hair, all right, because it can get stuck in their digestive system. So it's good to brush them out every single day. You can tell she's used to this, just like you would a cat. You know how cats can throw up a hairball? Rabbits can't throw it up, and so it can actually get stuck, unfortunately. There you go. How about that, Lucy? All right, hi, Clover. Clover's like, no, you're not brushing me yet. All right, so we have those brushes, and then nail clippers. Believe it or not, indoor rabbits need their nails cut just like your dog would. How about Will? That's Willow. Say hi, Willow. You like the bunnies? Willow's fantastic. She's grown up with these guys, so she's used to chickens and ducks and rabbits and not bothering them. So these little guys, they actually do need their nails cut. And you can see, come here. Oh, Clover. Clovers are really hard to see. But you can see they're getting long. I let hers go so I could show them to you. And then I will just cut them. But you need an adult to help you cut their nails because they do have blood vessels. It's called the quick in there. And you don't want to cut that because then it'll bleed a lot. And it can be pretty scary and hurt your sweet little bunny. And this is Miss Clover. She's really, really sweet. Some of you that's on my Animals in Winter program this year got to see Miss Clover in person and got to pet her. Her hair was actually longer than this at that time, but she's really sweet. Now, bunnies are a lot of time. They take a lot of time to take care of, and they're a lot of work. So they go to the bathroom. She's been here maybe 5 minutes at the most, and she's already gone to the bathroom a lot. Hi, say hi, Lucy. Lucy's really sweet. Aren't you? Although sometimes she likes to nip, all right? So that's another thing. If you have a bunny, sometimes they don't make the best of pets because they can bite you. All right, she's been really nice now, but usually if I stick my hand in her pen, she will grunt and almost kind of growl at me and be like, don't touch me. And so she gets a little grumpy. So that's why I got little Miss Clover over here. Yeah, I know, you're just really curious today. When they're outside, I always make sure they have lots of water too. Now you'll notice I have them in separate pens. They like each other, but sometimes bunnies will fight. And so I want to make sure that they both stay healthy and safe. Want to say hi? Say hi, Clover. Let you look at her here real quick. All right, so rabbits do pee and poo a lot. And so some of them will bite, and they don't always make the best pets. But if you do have a rabbit as a pet, you need to make sure they have plenty of food and water every single day. And preferably Timothy hay and Timothy-based food, because if they have alfalfa, they can get a little too large. Oh, Miss Clover's gonna wash her feet and her face. But they can be a lot of fun. And they're a lot of work. So every day what I like to do, I take a cat scoop and I scoop out any soiled litter in their boxes. Oh, there's Luke. Did you get stuck on the other side? We have some fenced-in property over here, and he got stuck on the other side while I was making sure the chickens didn't come in here, because I have grass seed I just planted. All right, so I do clean them out every day, otherwise they will smell really, really bad. All right, so that's another downfall to having a rabbit as a pet. Otherwise, they can be a lot of fun. And these guys like to get outside in their playpen on these nicer days. It's not very warm today, but it is nicer. How about it, Clover? And I do have a box for shelter. Now, when you have your rabbits outside, you always have to be careful because they are a prey animal. So, like maybe your neighbor's dog, which we have fence yard, so keeps the neighbor's dogs out, or a hawk. That's one of the #1 predators. Hawks, coyotes, fox. They all love to eat rabbit. And so, especially these tame rabbits, they do not blend in, so they can easily see them and swoop down and try and grab one. Clover's probably too big. I think Clover weighs more than 4 pounds. Hawks typically they'll only go for something less than 4 pounds. They might try to go for Lucy though. So when have them out and I'm not here with them, I have a shelter, a box that I put in here that has holes at 2 ends. But I usually I'll set these up like under my deck up here. I have a lot of bushes, and I'll set them up and attach them to my actual fence, and they have a really large playpen area there that they can play in, and they also have shelter. Plus, I have my guard dog. How about it, Will? So you make sure no predators come in after them, don't you? Yep, if you're not sleeping on the job. All right, so next we are going to talk a little bit about wild rabbits, their habitats, and what you can do to help them out if you find one, a baby bunny, because this is the season for baby bunnies. Say bye, Clover and Lucy. Okay, so we're going over here. There's Luke. I'm going to show you some good habitat. Oh, what do you have? That's for the chickens' food, Missy. Now, you'll notice I actually planted some wildflowers. I'm hoping they grow in here so we can have a nice habitat for our pollinators. But up here, there's some brush. So wild rabbits like to stay in brushy areas, typically around meadows if you have any meadow habitat. If you have a shed, they'll go under your shed. And they like to stay in brushy areas where they have some protection from predators, and they'll actually blend in really nicely because you see all this dead stuff. The wild rabbits that we have, the Eastern Cottontail, they blend in perfectly with all of this. All right. Now, if you're in your yard and you see an area that has a lot of, watch out Luke, no, don't step on it. I wasn't able to find a little rabbit's nest. I wouldn't want to disturb it anyhow. A lot of almost like hay dead grass in a circular area like that. And it's not even like, they don't even dig down into the ground much at all. But just a little circular area with some dead grass. When you're mowing or your parents are mowing the lawn, tell them to look out for areas like that, because that is probably a rabbit's nest. So they'll get some dead grass and just make a little circular area, and they'll have their babies there. And believe it or not, rabbits will have babies in yards that have dogs in them, like these guys, because cats are more of a predator to the babies than dogs tend to be. My dogs will chase a rabbit, but they wouldn't kill one. And especially probably not a baby bunny, but a cat definitely would. So they will even have babies. If you have a dog and you're like, rabbits are always having babies in my yard, that might be why, because they actually feel it's a safer area and they have more protection, even though some dogs will kill baby bunnies. So what do you do if you find a baby bunny? Well, you leave it be. If you've scared one from its nest, try to get it and put it back to its nest. But baby bunnies are only with their mom for about 3 weeks. And then they're on their own. So typically it's best to leave them with their mother. Their mother only comes back, I believe it's twice a day. So they don't want to be around their babies too much, because their scent can actually attract predators. All right, and then I'm going to send your teachers a link to a great film on rabbits from PBS. You can say bye to Luke and Willow. They're looking up here, checking things out. They always love to come over here and run. So I will talk to you guys later.